Alrighty, happy Tuesday to everybody. Hope you had a wonderful Tuesday. I realized nearly at the end of the day that I had a very eventful Tuesday. And by that I mean it was one of those days where you just go through the day, you don't think anything of it, and then you just keep going. Something happens and you're just like, well, this is it. This is part of the day. And then you get over it and you just keep moving forward. And it isn't until toward the end of the day where you speak with somebody and you start listing out all the weird things that happened throughout your day, and you realize that your day was more fucked up than you thought it was. But it wasn't like bad things. It was just unfortunate, odd placed, weird, different things. Not even sure the word to use. It was just a day full of things. It wasn't really a regular day, but it wasn't not a regular day. You probably know what I mean. So, I guess to start, where did my day actually start? I woke up. Yes, obviously. What did I do this morning? What did I do this morning? I ate cereal. It was a lot of cereal. It didn't feel like it was a lot of cereal when I poured it, but then I realized I kept eating it, and I'm like, okay, this is a lot of cereal. But that's almost normal. I always have a lot of cereal, so whatever. So I guess with the cereal, considering odd, weird, not weird, just regular things, when I poured the milk in the bowl, it was like that last bit of milk, where you're just like, I can save it and it is enough for something, or I can just pour the rest of it out. And I poured the rest of it out, and it doubled what was in the bowl, which then made me think, okay, this is now 2 bowls of milk in one bowl. Whatever. But that's just the start of it. So anyway, I go to class. That's where it really starts. I go to class, and I see one of the students sitting outside. I'm just like, okay, that's typical. I'm slightly early. And by early, I mean I'm directly on time and I'm actually running late. Which now brings me back to the main point of I was doing chores before I was leaving to go to class because I decided to watch one more episode of a TV show thinking I had enough time, and I did. But when I left, I realized, I should have just did these chores beforehand, but I think I just forgot. I think that's also the theme of today. I just keep forgetting things. So anyway, I think I just forgot to do them because I watched another episode thinking I wasn't going to do them, and I realized we can do them. So I did them. They're 3 different things. And mainly the biggest thing was just putting food that I cooked away in a plastic container, which I did. Finally, because sometimes I don't do that, which isn't really a big deal, but I did it. So anyway, I did that and didn't have time to wash it because, well, I had to go to class. I left it in the refrigerator, that way it didn't stink up the entire fucking apartment. Smart move. There's a trick, by the way. When you have any excess food or scraps of fruit, aka an apple core, for example, toss that shit in the freezer. Why? You won't spawn flies, it won't decompose itself, and it won't stink. I freeze all my trash. Okay, maybe not all my trash, but any compostable, decomposing, potential smelly food, I toss that shit in a plastic container or bag in the freezer. That way it won't stink and I won't have flies. Just smart move. On that topic, so I made some vegetables, right? Out of a bag. They were frozen. And I threw the bag. I also cooked some chicken. And I put that in the trash can, which I don't normally do, because I normally, again, put it in the freezer. For some reason I did. I think I just thought to myself, I rinsed it out, it should be good. Yeah, no. I don't smell it now, probably because I'm used to it, which is very disgusting at this point. But when I leave and when I come back, there's a very strong smell of green. Probably the broccoli. But I don't have broccoli in the trash can, it's just the bag and the chicken container. Anyway, yeah, like I said, either leave that shit in the fridge, which honestly, not that great of a idea. Put the shit in the freezer, freeze the shit until you're ready to take out the trash. and then take it out the freezer and the trash can into an outside trash can. So that is also part of my day. I left and came back 4 different times, and 4 different times it came back smelling in here like broccoli and fucking chicken. So anyway, like I was saying, I go to class, right? I go to class, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm just on time because there was nobody in the classroom. Sometimes the teacher runs a little bit late. That happens, all right? He didn't start like specifically on time, not a big deal. So we go there. He leaves the door unlocked. He leaves the door unlocked because every time I wait outside, and I'm just like, all right, the door is probably locked. Makes sense. Lights are off, door closed, nobody's inside. Assume it's locked. But no, he says the door's unlocked. Just go in there anytime, take a seat, get ready. Too easy, right? So anyway, we go in there, me and this other student, and we're just like, bro, there's like nobody in here. And then our student comes up and he's like, yo, I thought I was going to be late. I'm like, same here. Hey, boo-boo, right? So we're just sitting there, waiting, looking down the hallway, looking back down the hallway. And that was it. We're just like, anybody got the syllabus or a calendar on them? Because there were some days there were not going to be class. Well, as you can imagine, lo and behold, there's no fucking class, right? That's it. There's no class. It was canceled. It was canceled. And this happened before a few quarters ago where some of us didn't get the email or it didn't reach us in time for some odd reason. I don't know why. And some people got the email and were just like showing up to class, half there, half not. Which is, at this point, you're just thinking late, question mark? But when the person that normally isn't late is late, it's kind of like, okay. And when you've been waiting for like 5 minutes, you're like, okay, hold up. Nah, this ain't right. Well, this wasn't the case. There were no emails sent saying class was canceled because it was on the calendar in the syllabus that said no class that day. And this is where I realized I played myself. At least 8 different times because I was double checking the dates. I had something coming up and I keep forgetting the day, and then my brain couldn't process the day and the date. And I'm just like, wait, what day is it? So I keep running back to look at the calendar on my fridge, right? But the day in question here is after today. So I wasn't looking for today's date. I'm looking for the future date, if there's anything conflicting. I didn't once think to look above at the giant red bar on today's date, because again, it wasn't the date in question that said there's no class today. So once again, I played myself. Completely played myself in that one, because I should have known better. That's just it. At the end of the day, my fault. Because I even looked at the calendar at least 8 different times for a different date and just didn't check today's date. Amazing, right? So that's how I started off today. Fast forward ahead, after that whole debacle and us 3 scattering about, I'm like, I'm not going to walk back to my apartment just to wait there for about 2 hours, hour and a half or so, to walk back again, because my knee hurt at this point due to a pre-existing injury and straining on my knee. So I'm like, I'm not going to walk back just to walk back again, to potentially walk back again and back again. Just not going to do that. So I sat with some friends and waited around for a while, and then one of them gets a call and a text message saying that they needed assistance, or that our group needed assistance or somebody to assist somewhere with the task. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm not doing anything. You guys all just said you're just not going to help, even though you're the ones that got the notification. I didn't. My team didn't get the notification, but you guys did. I'm like, all right, fine. If you guys aren't going to do it, be better. I'll go ahead and do it. Whatever. So they told me where it was at, which is the building I went to for class, essentially. And I go there. And guess what? Are you ready for this? There's no one there. Not a single soul there. I sat there, did circles back and forth, checked in and out of each room. I'm like, yo, there's nobody fucking here. So at this point, I'm like, all right, they're either done or they're not here. So now I walk back to this group. And I'm like, so where is it at exactly? Where is this event exactly at? No, it's not back at the building. It's where they said it was. not the building. It is somewhere else, kind of close by, but not close enough for me to justify walking to, just to walk back, and not close enough for me to also justify walking back home to get in my car to drive there, because it's really not that far. Plus, again, the extra effort of walking there and back. And the task wasn't that important, but it would have been nice to assist. So I'm just like, nope. I got played again. This time, at least they apologize. Does it make a difference? No, because it was pretty obvious that I said I was going to go somewhere to do something. And at that point, I'm just like, you have the information. You gave me the information, but not the most important part of the information that, essentially says, hey, here's exactly where it is at. Because that was a very big determining factor on whether or not I was going there or not. Got played. Other than that, though, my next class was great. Perfect class, wonderful class. I love that teacher, man. It's a great teacher, super amazing. So that perma day, superb, on point, like great. That reminds me, I have to send him an email that I'm not going to be in class Thursday. I have an event. And that also reminds me I have to send another message to my other teacher for an assignment that I did do. Which now brings me to another part of my day. So I go to science class, right? Slide up in there. I take a seat. Now I missed class due to an event, an appointment, the week prior. So I had to copy down somebody else's information and use their stuff, and it was this whole weird thing, and they kept looking at me like, why are you here? I'm like, look, man, y'all had seating arrangements. I didn't. I'm here. You saw me the week before. Don't be weird. Just let me take the shit down, right? And then that was a whole debacle. It was fucking weird. So I ended up not really doing it. So I did not even half the assignment. I did a third and a quarter of it. Because I answered 2 questions. Because I answered the first question that wasn't even a real question on its own, which was super weird because there wasn't even a spot for it. My teacher's like, stop writing small. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. There's so much space. Just to find out I didn't have to write anything right there at all. Then I only answered 2 questions, or a question and a half. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to ask for more time. It's whatever. There's more labs to come. And I don't want to bother these people and their damn science. It was just weird. All right. Which then, Jesus Christ. This right here is this right here gets deep. Not really. So anyway, in science class, you're supposed to print out the lab beforehand. However, for this lab specifically, we're getting handed back out last week's lab to finish up on. In addition, there's also usually a pre-lab quiz. There wasn't a pre-lab quiz posted, which made my brain think there was not going to be not a pre-lab, but a printout for said lab, because we were getting handed back something and there was no quiz. That's how my brain thought. That's how my brain processed. That's how my brain worked, and I didn't print anything out. And then I kept looking around, everybody with their printouts, and I'm like, did they already get theirs back from last week, or is that a new one? It was a new one. So that was a weird thing, because now I show up to class in an unsigned seat, even though I was going to sit there anyway. That's where I sat the first week, and they're looking at me like, why are you sitting here? I'm like, look, man, I don't tell you I wasn't here last week. So they're looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy? Even though I sat with them last week, and it's very uncomfortable. And then also, I'm sitting there with no printout, which is even more weird. So now I'm just like, okay, this is just fucking weird. I'm just the guy with nothing. No credentials, nothing. I ain't got shit on me. And then I'm sitting there asking for their work to do my work, and that was just weird. It was, yeah. Science class. But it gets better. So I'm sitting there on my phone. I got the instructions on my phone for the lab, which is fine. And I thought about writing everything on there. I even got notebook paper. I thought about writing it out because all it was a few boxes to fill in and some instructions. Not that big of a deal. It wasn't an extensive lab, so it wasn't crazy. And I had the paper with me. I was gonna write on it, but it's too much work. So I kind of just dictated and took over doing all the instructions and procedures, which I fumbled a few on those. I was kind of hungry. I was kind of hungry. I wasn't in the best mind state, but we still did it. That's all that matters. A few mistakes, which makes me look worse, but who cares? Still did it. What can you do, right? At the end of the day, it was done. They got results. I got results. I got to turn that in. My teacher said to just email him. It was a whole weird thing at the end of class because I was like, yeah, I don't have the printout. And his whole thing is he's going to, I forgot the words. Give you a hard time, as they say, if you don't have a printout because you're expected to do it. And I'm like, oh, shit. I don't want to be that guy that didn't show up last week, even though I told him, and be the guy that doesn't have the printout. It was weird. It was just fucking weird, right? So at the end of class, I'm like, I don't have the printout. I wasn't going to ask you for it, even though he was like, you could just ask for it. I have plenty of them. I was just like, oh. Good to know. Now I'm just going to pre-print all of them. That way I can't forget. It's probably a smart move, actually. Then I just always have them on me. So anyway, yeah, I could just ask them the entire time. And I was like, yeah, I was going to write then stuff on this piece of paper, but then I just didn't. And he's looking at it like, well, this is weird. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, I took pictures of his because we did it together. You watched me do it with him. I took pictures of his, and I was just gonna either turn it in tomorrow when I print it, cause we have a quiz tomorrow. Fuck. And I was like, I was just gonna print it out, fill it out, and give it to you in the morning if that's okay. Or I was just gonna fill it in on a PDF because it's a PDF, and then just email it to you if that's fine. Also, he's like, you know what? You took a picture? I was like, yes. He was like, just email it to me. So he said to just email him a picture of the vials that we were experimenting in. Luckily, I took pictures of those. Now I just have to email it to him and probably still write an explanation because I feel like I should. So yeah, gotta study for a quiz tomorrow. Fun, fun, fun. Oh boy. That's a thing. That is a thing. Cells in biology. Honestly, the hardest part's gonna be the cells. A lot of vocabulary, but most of it's not that hard. It's just remembering what is what and what does what on the cell. And it depends on also how the questions are worded, and yeah. Anyway, fast forwarding from that. Fast forwarding from that event, I went to work, and then I found out I didn't even have to go to work because I wasn't on the schedule for work because my boss is weird and doesn't know how to do scheduling, quite frankly. So anyway, I go to work, I show up, and they said basically I didn't have to be there. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. I'm like, well, I'm already here, so I'm going to stay here. I'm going to work because it looks like you guys have plenty of work to do, kind of. So I stayed and I worked. It was fun-ish. And plus I had to go buy some things, which is convenient, so I figure I'm going to go there regardless anyway. I might as well get some work done and buy stuff too. Plus, they're always thankful when I come in, because guess what happens when I go to work? Nothing is fucking done. Like always. Plus, they figured if they text me and told me not to come in, I'd still go in anyway. I probably would have still came in anyway. Because, yeah, for some reason, we have a bad habit of hiring people that just don't work, and then they cut everybody else's hours for the people that are supposed to be there the longest and actually work, but don't do anything, thus leaving more work for everybody. You know what? That's a debacle. I'm not going to, do I use that word right? I've been saying that a lot lately, and now I'm just like, do I even use that right? Like, I think I do. Yeah, fair enough. It's pretty close. Anyway, a great debacle I'm not gonna hop into right now. Or conundrum. Conundrum is another fun word. I can use them both. Anyway, I'm not gonna hop into that right now because I think I've already explained that before, and that's just another issue I can go deeper into. And I'm already at 20 minutes on this video. Boop. I don't think the time's actually right there for you, but it is for me. Anyway, I'm not gonna hop into that. That's a whole other story and a whole other ball game that just does not matter. Plus, if I don't go to work, I can't see the chick to get the chick's number. That's a different story also. Or a continuation of an already ongoing story that I've been telling for like months. Yes. So yeah, people don't work, and I figure if I go in, I'm gonna do some work because they didn't do work, and people have to do work. Then my boss, other boss, likes when work is done. Plus, they have fun because I'm there and I'm fun. So yeah, that was that was today in a nutshell for the most part. It was a wild ride of nothing. It was for the most part a regular day, but just one of those odd days where everything just up in the air. It's weird. Like I was honestly just sailing through the day, and this is when it hit me. It hit me when I was at work, and I don't know why it came up. I think I said something to somebody. Maybe it was the fact that I didn't have to be at work is why it came up. But anyway, I said something to somebody, and they're like, "Yeah, you had quite the day." I was like, "You know what? I guess you're right. I guess today actually was a day. Today's Tuesday. Today's just weird. Today is just a weird Tuesday. Tuesdays are weird. I don't know what to tell you, man. Tuesdays are just yeah." And then I was driving my car, and I had to keep my car on E. Don't keep your car on E. I just don't like to fill it up if I know I'm not gonna drive far. So I just let it get pretty close to fucking E. And this time it was like under E. Shit said like 4 miles. I'm like, okay, I guess I have to go fill up. But yeah, that was my day. How was your day? I hope your day was great. I hope you had a wonderful day. I really do. Have a good day. It hasn't been a bad day today. The weather was good. It was nice and windy, and I had my nice jacket on, so like the wind didn't really affect me, and it actually felt great because I love the wind. I love springtime. The sun was shining. It's getting warmer. It's a nice feeling. Just absorb it. People say that they were wish, wow, words. People wish they were like me in the morning because I'm just full of energy. I'm just like, you know what? I don't really sleep that much. I don't. I just wake up and go to world. So I did there. I go to world. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I got some studying to do, I guess, and emails to send, and life, school, work. So yeah, for those of you tuning in, I appreciate all of you and all your love and support. Yay! Song of the day. So many songs, so many songs, so many things I can talk about right now. Like Spotify's new AI. It's pretty fucking cool. If you haven't used it, please give it a shot. Um, that is a song I have not heard in a good while. I'd almost call it a classic, but it's worth saying classic for things that are not old. But honestly, that album is pretty. It's a good structure, and like it's just well crafted, and it has a theme. And like I may have said this before, but all the greatest albums flow well and have a theme, and is something that you can just listen to from start to finish, like the whole thing. And that is this album. But the specific song is definitely one of my favorites from that album, and probably of like all time. I actually think I have it in a playlist that I call Me. I think I have a Me playlist. I think everyone should have one. It's just like a song or songs that like are you that you connect with or whatever the fuck. And I think this one is in my Me playlist. It's definitely in some playlists for sure. But it is called Remote Viewing by East Ghost. And I feel like I have mentioned that name recently before. And I may have actually mentioned this song before. Regardless, Remote Viewing by East Ghost. That's East Ghost. I think I've explained East Ghost before. But check it out. Wonderful song. I think another good song that I'm going to list here, just because I'm looking at it. I'm gonna list two more actually three more, because I'm looking at these three on my screen and they are all really good. Ooh, four more? Damn, y'all getting some plugs right now. Okay, yeah. So another favorite artist of mine who hasn't been doing anything much recently lately. I think he might be done, but he made some very good music, and that is World. That's WRLD, and he did a remix by some artist called Astronaut. Somebody might know him, I don't. But it's called Champions. But look up Champions World WRLD remix. Beautiful song. Also by World, and this is on a beautiful album, one of my favorites also. It's called Style by World. Great song. It's off his Chase It album, which Chase It is also probably one of my top songs of like all time. I love it. Wonderful song, wonderful song, wonderful song. Listen to it. Um, Off, off, off. That's three offs, no spaces. Off, off, off by Auto Laser. Very chill song to kick back to. Check that one out. And finally, last but certainly not least, we will have listed It'll Be Okay by Discord Go Bloop. By Smile, S-M-L-E, Smlee, Smlee. But yeah, that's your playlist for now. Good luck on any test you have or shit coming up. Stay good. Stay in school, learn things, be educated, be good, be smart, make great decisions, love your friends and your family, be grateful, so on, so on, so on, and enjoy weather. Whether good or bad, just enjoy weather. Weather is nature. Unless it's a hurricane or tornado. Unless you're a storm chaser and you like that, I guess. Then maybe you should enjoy it too, but not me. Fuck that shit. Yeah. Anyway. Toodles.